I stared at the text message from my boss, Mr. Harlan Reed, my heart pounding as if I'd just run a marathon. Join me for drinks at my place tonight? 8 p.m. Casual. In the cutthroat world of New York corporate finance, where every interaction felt like a chess move, this invitation from the firm's top executive felt like a trap, or maybe an opportunity one couldn't refuse. Little did I know, that evening would shatter the carefully constructed facade I'd built around my life, forcing me to confront desires I'd buried deep under layers of ambition and fear. My name is Alex Thompson, a 28-year-old analyst at Reed & Associates, one of the premier investment firms on Wall Street. I'd clawed my way up from a small-town upbringing in rural Pennsylvania, where being different meant being an outcast. In the city, I blended in seamlessly, sharp suits, late nights at the office, and a string of casual dates with women to keep up appearances. No one suspected I was gay. I made sure of that. Harlan, on the other hand, was the epitome of success. Mid-40s, impeccably dressed, married to a socialite named Elena, with 2 kids in private school. He was the kind of man who commanded rooms without raising his voice, his decisions shaping multimillion-dollar deals. Rumors swirled about his personal life, whispers of a strained marriage, but I dismissed them as office gossip. That night, I arrived at his Upper East Side townhouse, a sprawling brownstone that screamed old money. Harlan greeted me at the door with a firm handshake and a warm smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. "Alex, glad you could make it. Come in. Let's leave the spreadsheets behind for once." The living room was elegant, with leather armchairs, a crackling fireplace, and shelves lined with first-edition books. He poured us both scotch from a crystal decanter, the amber liquid swirling like liquid gold. We talked shop at first, market trends, upcoming mergers, but as the drinks flowed, the conversation shifted. Harlan leaned back, his tie loosened, and asked about my life outside work. "You seem driven, Alex. What's fueling that fire? Family? A special someone?" I hesitated, sipping my drink to buy time. "Just ambition, sir. No time for much else." He chuckled, but there was a sadness in it. "Call me Harlan. And trust me, ambition's a lonely road if that's all you've got." He shared stories from his early days, the sacrifices he'd made for his career, how it had cost him personally. His marriage, he admitted vaguely, was more partnership than passion. I found myself opening up, too, about my conservative family back home, the pressure to succeed, the fear of disappointing them. The scotch warmed my veins, loosening my tongue. Before I knew it, I was confessing things I'd never said aloud. The isolation of hiding who I was, the ache of unfulfilled longing. Harlan listened intently, his gaze steady. "You're not alone in that, Alex." His words hung in the air, charged with unspoken meaning. When he placed a hand on my shoulder, it wasn't paternal, it was electric. I pulled back slightly, my mind racing. Was this a test? A mistake? But in his eyes, I saw a reflection of my own hidden truths. We talked until the early hours, the conversation weaving between vulnerability and restraint. As I left, he said, "This stays between us." I nodded, stepping into the cool night air, my world tilted on its axis. The next day at the office, everything felt different. Harlan was professional as ever during meetings, but there were stolen glances, subtle nods that spoke volumes. I buried myself in work, trying to shake off the previous night, but my thoughts kept drifting back. Was it just the alcohol, or had I glimpsed something real? Over the following weeks, our interactions grew more personal. He'd invite me to lunch, discussing not just deals but books, films, life philosophies. I learned about his passion for classical music, his regret over not pursuing art instead of finance. In return, I shared my love for photography, capturing candid moments in the city that revealed hidden stories. One afternoon, in his corner office with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Manhattan, he closed the door and said, "Alex, about that night, I didn't mean to overstep." I assured him it was fine, but the tension was palpable. "It's complicated," he continued. "Elena's filing for divorce. It's been coming for years." My heart skipped. He explained how their marriage had been arranged in a way, family expectations, societal norms, but the love had faded long ago. "I've spent my life playing a role," he admitted. "But meeting someone like you, it makes me question everything." I felt a rush of empathy mixed with attraction. Here was a man at the peak of power, yet as trapped as I was. That evening, we met at a quiet bar in Greenwich Village, away from prying eyes. The conversation deepened. He spoke of his college days, a brief fling with a male roommate that he dismissed as experimentation. "Society doesn't make it easy," he said, "especially in our world." I nodded, sharing my own story of a high school crush I'd never acted on, the fear of rejection and ridicule. As we walked through the village streets, our hands brushed accidentally, or was it? Sending sparks through me. Back at work, the lines blurred further. Harlan assigned me to a high-profile project, praising my work in front of the team. Colleagues noticed the favoritism, whispers starting, "Alex is the golden boy now." Jealousy brewed, but I ignored it, reveling in the connection. One night, after a late strategy session, we ended up at his place again. No drinks this time, just coffee and honest talk. He confessed his feelings were growing beyond mentorship. "This could ruin us both," he warned. I knew the risks. Office romance scandals, the firm's no fraternization policy, not to mention the homophobia lurking in conservative financial circles. But in that moment, I didn't care. We shared a tentative kiss, soft and exploratory, pulling back to gauge each other's reactions. It was a turning point, a silent agreement to explore this fragile thing between us. Yet, doubts crept in. Was I just a midlife crisis for him? Or was this genuine? I confided in my best friend, Jamie, the only person who knew my secret. "Be careful, Alex," he advised. "Power dynamics like that? It's a minefield." I brushed it off, but the words lingered. As our relationship deepened in secret, the thrill was intoxicating, but so was the fear. We'd steal moments, a quick lunch in a hidden cafe, weekend hikes upstate where no one knew us. Harlan opened up about his family. His kids, Sophia and Liam, whom he adored but saw less since the separation. Elena was amicable, focused on co-parenting, but the divorce proceedings dragged on, adding stress. "I want to be honest with them eventually," he said one evening as we sat on his rooftop terrace, the city lights twinkling below. "But timing is everything." I admired his resolve, but it highlighted my own cowardice. Back home, my parents still asked about girlfriends, their voices laced with expectation. During a phone call with my mom, she pressed, "Any special lady in your life, honey?" I lied smoothly, hating myself for it. Harlan encouraged me to come out when ready, but the thought terrified me. "You've got support here," he assured, pulling me close. Our physical connection was gentle, focused on emotional intimacy rather than passion. Hugs that lingered, hands intertwined during quiet talks. At work, the pressure mounted. A rival colleague, Marcus, sniffed around our dynamic. "Getting cozy with the boss, eh?" he sneered one day in the break room. I laughed it off, but inside, panic stirred. Harlan noticed my unease and suggested we cool it at the office. "We can't risk everything we've built." But the secrecy weighed on me, making our stolen time feel tainted. Then came the first major conflict. Harlan's ex-wife, Elena, discovered an email thread between us. Innocent, but telling. She confronted him, not out of jealousy, but concern for the kids. "This could blow up in the media," she warned. "Think about Sophia's school friends, Liam's soccer team." Harlan shared this with me, his face etched with worry. "She's right. We're in a bubble, Alex. The real world isn't as forgiving." I felt a stab of resentment. Was he backing out? "So what, we hide forever?" I challenged. We argued for the first time, voices raised in his study. He insisted on caution. I pushed for authenticity. "I've hidden my whole life," I said. "I thought you were different." He apologized, but the rift lingered. That night, I stormed out, wandering the streets, questioning if this was worth the heartache. The next day, an anonymous tip hit the office gossip mill. Suggestions of impropriety between Harlan and me. Whispers turned to stares. During a team meeting, Marcus made a snide comment about special treatment. Harlan shut it down firmly, but the damage was done. I felt exposed, vulnerable. After work, I met Jamie again. "This is getting messy," he said. "Is he worth the career suicide?" Harlan and I reconciled over dinner, vowing to be more careful. But the incident sparked deeper conversations about societal pressures. He spoke of board members with outdated views, clients who might pull business if rumors spread. "Finance is still a boys' club," he lamented. "Being gay? It's a liability." I countered with stories of progress, pride parades, legal protections, but he reminded me of the subtler discriminations, mispromotions, social exclusions. Our bond strengthened through these trials, but external forces loomed. My family planned a visit to New York, eager to see my successful life. Panic set in. How could I introduce Harlan without explanations? I confided in him and he offered to step back. "I don't want to complicate things for you." But that felt like rejection. We decided on a low-key dinner with my parents, framing him as a mentor. The evening was tense. My dad grilled Harlan about the firm, while my mom eyed us curiously. Later, alone with me, she asked, "Is there something you're not telling us, Alex?" I denied it, but her intuition gnawed at me. As the divorce finalized, Harlan gained more freedom, but it came with custody battles. Sophia, at 14, sensed the changes and rebelled, skipping school and arguing with him. "She thinks it's my fault," he confided, tears in his eyes, a rare vulnerability. I comforted him, our roles reversing. In those moments, I realized this wasn't just romance. It was partnership, messy and real. Yet, the office tension escalated. A formal complaint was filed, anonymous, alleging favoritism. The HR investigation loomed, forcing us to distance ourselves professionally. "This could end my career," Harlan admitted. I offered to resign, but he refused. "We fight this together." The strain tested us, arguments flaring over blame and solutions. Amid the chaos, a turning point. During a weekend getaway to the Hamptons, away from it all, we recommitted. Walking on the beach, hand in hand under the stars, Harlan said, "I love you, Alex, no matter what." It was the first time those words were spoken, sealing our fate. Back in the city, the investigation cleared us, lack of evidence, but the damage to reputations lingered. Colleagues treated me differently, opportunities drying up. Harlan faced board scrutiny, his leadership questioned. The fallout from the investigation rippled through our lives like aftershocks. Harlan's position at the firm became precarious. Whispers of a vote of no confidence circulated among partners. He worked longer hours, stress etching lines on his face. "I built this company," he vented one night, pacing his living room. "Now they're turning on me because of who I am." I tried to support him, but my own career stalled. Projects I'd led were reassigned, my input dismissed in meetings. Marcus, emboldened, spread subtle innuendos, eroding my credibility. Social conflicts intensified. At a firm gala, Elena attended as a guest civil, but her presence reminded everyone of the divorce. She pulled me aside, her tone measured. "Harlan cares about you, but this world chews up people like us." Her words stung. Was she implying I was a phase? Later, Harlan and I danced discreetly, but eyes followed us. A senior partner commented snidely, "Keeping it professional, Reed?" The homophobia, veiled as humor, boiled my blood. Family pressures mounted too. My parents, after their visit, sensed something off. Dad called, blunt as ever. "That boss of yours seems too chummy. You focusing on work or what?" I deflected, but the guilt ate at me. Thanksgiving approached, and they insisted I come home. "Bring a date if you want," Mom added hopefully. The idea of facing them alone, or worse, lying again, tormented me. Harlan encouraged honesty. "They love you. Give them a chance." But memories of small-town bigotry, slurs hurled at the one openly gay kid in school, held me back. Our relationship strained under these weights. Arguments became frequent. Me accusing him of prioritizing his image, him retorting I was too impatient. One heated night, I shouted. If you're ashamed, just end it. He grabbed my arms gently, eyes pleading. I'm not ashamed of you. I'm scared for us. We made up, but cracks formed. A controversial twist emerged when Sophia discovered us. Walking in on us sharing a quiet dinner at Harlan's, she froze. Dad? Who's this? Harlan explained calmly, introducing me as his partner. Her reaction was explosive. Tears, accusations of ruining the family. Mom said you were confused, she yelled before storming out. Harlan chased after her, leaving me reeling. Later, he returned exhausted. She needs time, but her words echoed societal judgments we'd fought against. The incident sparked a custody dispute flare-up. Elena, protective, questioned Harlan's stability. Court dates loomed, lawyers probing our relationship. This could affect visitation, his attorney warned. Harlan considered downplaying us, but I refused. If we hide, we lose ourselves. It was a stand that deepened our bond but heightened risks. At work, a bombshell. The board demanded Harlan's resignation or a public statement affirming traditional values to appease conservative clients. It's blackmail, he fumed. I urged him to fight, but he wavered, thinking of his kid's future. Sacrifices for love, he mused bitterly. The dilemma tore at us, career versus authenticity. In a moment of desperation, I confided in a colleague, Sarah, an ally in the firm. You're brave, she said, but be smart. Her support inspired me to organize a discreet LGBTQ network within the company, highlighting discriminations. It gained traction but also backlash. Marcus filed another complaint, claiming division. Personal growth emerged amid turmoil. I finally called my parents, heart hammering. Mom, Dad, I'm gay, and I'm in love with Harlan. Silence, then Dad's gruff voice. We suspected, but your boss? That's complicated. Mom cried, but assured love. It wasn't acceptance yet, but a start. Their reaction, mixed with concern over age difference and power imbalance, fueled debates in my mind. Was our love defensible? Harlan's kids slowly warmed. Liam, at 10, was curious rather than judgmental. Sophia, after talks, apologized. I was scared, she admitted. Family therapy helped, but societal stares at school events persisted. The climax built as the board meeting approached. Harlan prepared a speech, deciding to come out publicly if needed. For us, he said, kissing my forehead. I stood by him, ready for fallout. On the day, tension peaked. Partners debated, some supportive, others hostile. A client threatened to pull funds, citing moral concerns. Harlan stood tall. My personal life doesn't affect my leadership. If it does for you, that's your prejudice. The room erupted in arguments, exposing deep divisions. In the end, the board backed him narrowly, swayed by progressive voices. But victories came with costs. Lost clients, media scrutiny. Tabloids sensationalized. Wall Street tycoon's gay affair shakes firm. We faced online trolls, hate mail, harsh reminders of lingering homophobia. Through it, our love endured, forged in fire. We moved in together, blending lives carefully with his kids. I transferred departments to avoid conflicts, focusing on ethics in finance. Yet, questions lingered. Had we pushed too far, or not enough? With the board's decision behind us, a fragile peace settled, but new storms brewed. Media attention amplified, turning our private lives into public spectacle. Reporters camped outside the townhouse, shouting questions about the boss-employee romance. Harlan shielded his kids, hiring security, but Sophia resented the intrusion. Why can't we be normal? She asked tearfully. We explained societal progress, but her pain was raw, a stark reminder of collateral damage. Professionally, the firm rebounded, attracting progressive clients who praised Harlan's authenticity. But internally, fractures remained. Marcus resigned in protest, but not before leaking emails to a conservative blog, framing our relationship as unethical. The post went viral, sparking online debates. Was it abuse of power? Consent in hierarchies? We became unwilling poster boys for workplace romance controversies. I faced personal backlash too. Old friends from Pennsylvania unfriended me on social media, citing lifestyle choices. My parents visited again, supportive but uneasy. Dad grumbled about the age gap. He's old enough to be your father. Mom worried about stability. What if it ends? Your career's tied to him. Their concerns mirrored broader societal critiques. Power imbalances in gay relationships, often overlooked in straight ones. Harlan and I navigated these with therapy, strengthening communication. We're equals, he affirmed. But doubts crept. Did I choose him freely? Or was it influence? One night, over wine, I voiced it. Sometimes I wonder if it's real. He hurt but understood. Let's prove it then. Away from work. He proposed a sabbatical, traveling together. Before that, a heated family confrontation. At a holiday gathering with Elena and the kids, tensions boiled. Elena, civil but pointed, said, "Alex, you're young. Harlan's world is complicated." Sophia chimed in, "Yeah, what about us?" The discussion turned argumentative, voices rising over generational views on love, family, and queerness. Liam defended us innocently. "Dad's happy now." It diffused some heat, but highlighted divides. Society's mirror reflected harshly. At a pride event, we marched hand in hand, but faced protesters chanting slurs. Online, supporters clashed with critics. Inspirational versus predatory. The controversy fueled my advocacy. I spoke at panels on LGBTQ rights in corporate America, sharing our story's nuances. Yet, exhaustion set in. Harlan's health suffered, stress-induced migraines. "Is this worth it?" he asked wearily. I reassured, but internally questioned. A tempting job offer came. A rival firm, higher pay, fresh start. Tempted independence, proving I wasn't reliant on him. The decision tore me. Accepting meant distance. Declining, potential resentment. We argued fiercely, him accusing fear, me countering control. "You mentored me into this," I snapped. "Now I'm trapped." He recoiled. "I never wanted that." The fight ended in tears. A night apart. First in months. Reconciliation came slowly. He supported my choice. "Your career first." I turned it down, committing fully but with boundaries. We set rules. No work overlap, equal decisions. Kids adjusted better. Sophia joined a LGBTQ youth group, finding allies. Liam asked questions openly, fostering understanding. But external pressures persisted. A lawsuit from a former client alleged discrimination. Baseless, but draining. Court battles exposed private details, inviting judgment. Amid this, a poignant moment. Harlan proposed informally, over a quiet dinner. "Marry me, Alex. Let's make it official." Overwhelmed, I said yes, but with caveats after stability. The engagement sparked more controversy. Family reactions varied. My parents hesitant, his kids excited but wary. Elena congratulated, but warned of publicity. As we planned, societal debates amplified. Articles dissected. Age gap relationships ethical? In same-sex couples, double standards? Highs and lows intertwined. A supportive profile in a major magazine humanized us, inspiring letters from closeted professionals. But hate crimes nearby reminded of dangers. Climax neared with a public speaking event. Harlan addressed a finance conference on diversity. Midway, a heckler shouted, "Keep your perversions private." Security removed him, but the moment galvanized applause. Backstage, we embraced, resilient. Yet the toll mounted. I experienced burnout, questioning endurance. "Can we sustain this?" I asked. Harlan replied, "Together, yes." In the aftermath of the conference, our lives found a tentative rhythm. The lawsuit settled out of court. A Pyrrhic victory that depleted savings but cleared our names. Media interest waned, shifting to newer scandals, allowing breathing room. Harlan reduced his role at the firm, focusing on consulting, while I advanced independently, earning a promotion on merit alone. Our engagement became a quiet affair, shared with close family in a small ceremony upstate. Simple vows exchanged under autumn leaves, symbolizing renewal. The kids thrived in the new normal. Sophia, now advocating for LGBTQ rights at school, confided, "You two showed me love isn't perfect, but it's worth fighting for." Liam's innocent acceptance healed old wounds. Elena and I developed a cordial co-parenting dynamic, united in the children's well-being. My family evolved too. Dad, after gruff talks, admitted, "I don't understand it all, but you're my son." Mom baked for our visits, a gesture of warmth. Holidays blended families, awkward at first but growing comfortable, challenging traditional norms. Societal echoes lingered. We volunteered at community centers, mentoring young queer professionals navigating corporate worlds. Stories poured in. Hidden lives, discriminations mirroring ours. It fueled purpose but also highlighted ongoing battles, legislation threats, cultural backlashes. Personal reflections deepened. I pondered choices. Had ambition blinded me to risks? Harlan questioned regrets. Would I change meeting you? Never. Our love, tested by fire, emerged stronger, rooted in mutual respect. Yet not all scars healed. Lingering prejudices surfaced at events, subtle exclusions reminding us progress is uneven. Online trolls persisted, but we learned resilience, focusing on joy. Weekend getaways, shared hobbies, building a home. As years blurred, our story became legend in certain circles, inspirational to some, cautionary to others. We authored a book anonymously, detailing navigations of love amid adversity, sparking discussions on ethics, power, and identity. In quiet moments, doubts resurfaced. Was our beginning flawed, tainting the end? But actions proved otherwise, equal partnership, shared burdens. Life moved forward. Harlan retired early, pursuing art. I led diversity initiatives at work. Together, we fostered a foundation for future generations. Looking back, the journey from that fateful invitation to enduring commitment was fraught with drama, choices defining us. But was the power imbalance in our relationship ultimately insurmountable, or did love truly conquer the societal odds?